The least developed countries is a list of developing countries that, according to the United Nations, exhibit the lowest indicators of socio-economic development, with the lowest Human Development Index ratings of all countries in the world. The concept of LDCs originated in the late 1960s, and the first group of LDCs was listed by the UN in its Resolution 2768 of the 18th of November 1971. A country is classified among the least developed countries if it meets three criteria. As of December 2020, 46 countries are classified as LDC, while 6 have been upgraded between 1994 and 2020. The WTO recognizes the UN list and says that measures taken in the framework of the WTO can help LDCs increase their exports to other WTO members and attract investment. In many developing countries, pro-market reforms have encouraged faster growth, diversification of exports, and more effective participation in the multilateral trading system. LDC criteria are reviewed every 3 years by the Committee for Development Policy, coordinates UN support and provides advocacy services for least developed countries. The classification applies to 46 countries. At the UN's 4th Conference on LDCs, which was held in May 2011, delegates endorsed a goal targeting the promotion of at least half the current LDC countries within the next 10 years. As of 2018, 10 or more countries are expected to be upgraded until 2024, with Bangladesh and Djibouti satisfying all criteria in 2018 already. There are 3 countries which presently meet the criteria for LDC status, but have declined to be included in the index, questioning the validity or accuracy of the CDP's data: Ghana, Papua New Guinea, and Zimbabwe. Least developed countries can be distinguished from developing countries, less developed countries, lesser developed countries, or other terms for countries in the so-called Third World, although many contemporary scholars argue that Third World is outdated, irrelevant, or inaccurate. Others may use the term Fourth World in reference to least developed countries. The term less economically developed country is also used today. However, in order to avoid confusion between least developed country and or LEDC, less economically developed country, and to avoid confusion with landlocked developing country is generally used in preference to less developed country. During a United Nations review in 2018, the UN defined LDCs as countries meeting 3 criteria, one of which was a 3-year average estimate of gross national income per capita of less than $1,025. Countries with populations over 75 million are excluded. The 3 criteria are assessed by the Committee for Development Policy every 3 years. Countries must meet 2 of the 3 criteria at 2 consecutive triennial reviews to be considered for graduation. The Committee for Development Policy sends its recommendations for endorsement to the Economic and Social Council. Since the LDC category was initiated, 6 countries have graduated to developing country status. The first country to graduate from LDC status was Botswana in 1994. The second country was Cape Verde in 2007. Maldives graduated to developing country status on 1 January 2011. Samoa graduated in 2014, Equatorial Guinea in 2017, and Vanuatu in December 2020. Bhutan will graduate in 2023, and Sao Tome and Principe and Solomon Islands will leave the category in 2024. Nepal was selected to be graduated to developing countries on 2018. However, the authorities of Nepal requested to postpone it till 2021. Angola was expected to graduate in 2021, but the preparatory period was extended by 3 years because of the economic difficulties of the country and its dependence on commodities. Bangladesh met the criteria for the first time in 2018 and is likely to graduate in 2024 according to the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs. There have been 4 United Nations conferences on LDCs, held every 10 years. The first 2 were in Paris in 1981 and 1991. The third was in Brussels in 2001. The 4th UN Conference on Least Developed Countries was held in Istanbul, Turkey, the 9th to the 13th of May 2011. It was attended by Ban Ki-moon, the head of the UN, and close to 50 prime ministers and heads of state. The conference endorsed the goal of raising half the existing least developed countries out of the LDC category by 2022. As with the Seoul Development Consensus drawn up in 2010, there was a strong emphasis on boosting productive capability and physical infrastructure, with several NGOs not pleased with the emphasis placed on the private sector. Issues surrounding global trade regulations and LDCs have gained a lot of media and policy attention thanks to the recently collapsed Doha round of World Trade Organization negotiations, being termed a development round. During the WTO's Hong Kong ministerial, it was agreed that LDCs could see 100% duty-free, quota-free access to US markets if the round were